The world had barely settled into its usual calm when suddenly, without any warning, Jungkook of BTS ignited a global frenzy. It began with something so simple, just a short live broadcast, unexpected, unplanned, and undeniably explosive. The moment the notification pinged on millions of devices across the globe, ARMY everywhere felt a jolt in their chests. What was happening? Why was Jungkook going live at this hour? And more importantly, what did he want to show? From the very first frame, it was clear this wasn't an ordinary live. The lighting was dimmer than usual, the atmosphere heavier, and Jungkook's expression, usually bright, playful, mischievous, was unreadable. People rushed into the live room faster than the app could load. Timelines exploded. Fans screamed in comment sections. Social media turned into a chaos of theories, panic, excitement, and confusion. And yet, no one could look away. Jungkook remained silent for the first few seconds, staring into the camera as if contemplating whether he should say what was on his mind. ARMY froze. What did that look mean? Was something wrong? Was something big about to happen? They leaned in closer, hearts pounding, breaths shallow, the anticipation almost painful. Then he spoke, barely above a whisper, yet loud enough to shake the entire fandom worldwide. Hey, are you there? Just that sentence sent waves of panic across the globe. The vulnerability in his voice was rare, disarming, and impossible to ignore. Fans immediately flooded the comments with reassurance. We're here, Jungkook. Oppa, what happened? Are you okay? Don't scare us like this. But Jungkook didn't answer right away. Instead, he lifted something from off-screen, a small, dark object, barely visible at first, and the chat froze. Some thought it was a phone. Some thought it was a notebook. Some feared it might be something symbolic, something serious, something that could change everything. The panic rose higher. Camera flashes from fans watching lit up their rooms. Screenshots spread like wildfire. Even fans who were asleep woke up suddenly as though pulled by fate, logging in to see what the world was screaming about. The video quality glitched slightly, making the moment even more dramatic. For a split second, Jungkook disappeared, then reappeared, leaning closer to the camera until only his eyes were visible. And those eyes, sharp, intense, emotional, said more than any words could. Then, finally, he smiled. A small smile. A soft smile. But enough to make ARMY completely lose their minds. Within minutes, hashtags rocketed to the top of global trends. Hashtag Jungkook live, hashtag Jungkook what happened, hashtag Jungkook are you okay, hashtag Kooky don't scare yous, and of course, hashtag ARMY panic. Nearly every country had Jungkook's name in its trending topics. News outlets scrambled to catch up. Influencers pretended they'd been watching the whole time. K-pop accounts updated their timelines every second. It was chaos, the kind only Jungkook could cause with a simple, mysterious smile. And just when the fans started to calm down, thinking perhaps it was just a harmless live session, Jungkook dropped another bomb. He lifted his shirt slightly, not enough to be revealing. Not enough to break any rules. Just enough to expose a flash of his waist, tattoos, and toned skin, yet long enough to send the entire fandom spiraling into madness. Fans screamed. Phones were dropped. People fainted, at least according to dramatic live tweets. The comments exploded so fast the app lagged for nearly 15 seconds. The chat rate broke records. Not even the fastest ARMY could keep up with what was happening on the screen. Jungkook laughed at the chaos, literally laughed, and that laugh only made things worse. Why are you panicking? He teased, leaning his head back slightly as if genuinely entertained by the hysteria he had just caused. Why? Because he was Jungkook. Because every small movement he made was enough to electrify an entire global fandom. Because this wasn't just any idol on a live session, this was the Jungkook, the youngest, the charismatic, unpredictable, impossibly magnetic star who could turn the world upside down with just a single look. But then something unexpected happened. The screen shook. A noise echoed in the background. Something or someone off camera moved, and Jungkook instantly turned his head, startled. ARMY gasped. Who else was there? Was someone visiting him? Was something happening behind the scenes? Why did Jungkook look so surprised? Suddenly, the live got tense again. The smile disappeared. Jungkook pressed a finger to his lips, signaling for silence, even though millions of fans could not possibly be heard. The comments flooded with fear and curiosity. Who's there? Jungkook, is someone with you? Is it a staff? A member? A friend? He whispered something the mic didn't catch. Fans replayed the moment in slow motion, trying to decode it. Theories exploded. Interpretations clashed. Some claimed they heard a familiar voice. Some claimed they saw a shadow. Some insisted it was nothing but a prank. But no one knew for sure, and Jungkook offered no explanation. Instead, he switched the camera angle, darkening the background even more. "Don't worry," he said softly. "It's nothing." But his tone, too calm, too controlled, only made fans more suspicious. The tension lasted a long moment, and then he returned to his relaxed demeanor, brushing off the incident as if it never happened. Yet the internet had already exploded with analysis threads, fan detectives, and self-proclaimed experts breaking down what they believed they saw. Then Jungkook continued the live with a surprising shift in tone. He began speaking about life, growth, and moments of uncertainty. He confessed that he had been thinking about many things lately: his future, his music, the expectations placed upon him, and the pressure he sometimes felt. ARMY listened silently, hearts open, wanting nothing more than to comfort him. Jungkook's voice was steady but layered with sincerity that tugged at people's emotions. Fans felt honored, moved, and overwhelmed. Some cried quietly as he spoke, expressing his thoughts so honestly. He rarely opened up this much on live broadcasts, which only amplified the impact. Every sentence felt weighty. Every pause felt meaningful. It was as if Jungkook had chosen this moment to reveal a vulnerable part of himself, but just when the emotional atmosphere seemed to reach its peak, he dropped another surprise. He sang. No music. No microphone. No studio settings, just Jungkook's raw voice filling the silence, soft at first, then stronger, clearer, richer. His voice carried emotion like a wave, hitting fans directly in the heart. The live chat erupted in real time, millions commenting at once, so fast the screen became a blur. People recorded the moment instantly, though many realized quickly that the platform blocked screen recording. Still, ARMY found ways. The song was unfamiliar, new, unreleased, a demo. The possibility threw fans into instant chaos. Was he accidentally teasing new music? Was it intentional? Was it a leak? Or just Jungkook casually dropping something that could shake the industry? As he continued singing, his expression softened. His hand rested over his chest. His gaze lowered. It wasn't a performance, it was a confession. Something emotional. Something meaningful. Something no one had been prepared for. When he finished, silence filled the screen for several seconds. Then he whispered, "I've been working on something. I'll show you soon." And that sentence, those 7 simple words, set the entire global fandom on fire. ARMY panicked all over again. Theories multiplied. Some believed he was hinting at a solo comeback. Some believed he was hinting at a collaboration. Some went far deeper, believing it was something personal, something about his life rather than his career. Jungkook didn't clarify. Instead, he leaned closer, lips curving into the softest smile, eyes sparkling as if he knew exactly what he was doing to the fandom. "You'll wait for me, right?" he asked. Fans lost their minds. The comment section almost crashed the server. Messages poured in so fast they became unreadable streaks. People typed essays in milliseconds. Some literally begged him not to disappear. Others professed loyalty. Many simply screamed in all caps, overwhelmed by emotions. But the panic reached its peak when Jungkook suddenly said, "I have to go now." ARMY screamed collectively. The live was too short. Too mysterious. Too chaotic. Too full of unanswered questions. Nothing made sense. Everything felt intentional and unintentional at the same time. Fans begged him to stay. Some pleaded for an explanation. Others simply typed endless crying emojis, but Jungkook only smiled again, so gently it almost hurt. "Thank you for being with me," he whispered.